Three words. Light cones. They are often referred to as the weapons of Honkai Star Rail, and just like in any other gacha game, you have to engage in gambling to get them. Simply put, light cones are pretty important. You put them on a character and boom, stats.
朋友是一个坚韧不拔的纪录片。
You see what I'm getting at here? They're truly amazing indeed, dear viewer. But you know you're not here to see me ramble about light cones. You're here to watch me play without light cones. Can you beat Honkai Star Rail without light cones? No sane person has ever even thought of this, except for me, so sit back, relax and get ready as your favorite Honkai Star Rail gamer answers his life's most important questions. The rules for this run are simple. No light cones are allowed on any of my characters, and my favorite rule, I am allowed to use support characters for farming resources under the condition that I can and have beaten the farming spot beforehand. That is really it, everything else goes, and those new coming homies that don't know the story, I got you. Our journey starts off in a space station where a Stellaron hunter named Kafka is tasked with finding the Stellaron, which is... honestly, I got no fucking clue. All I know is that it's pretty important. With the assistance of her colleague named Silverwolf, we pound some cheeks and eventually make our way to the Stellaron. This is where we choose our raccoon. I picked our homie Kaelis and named him after something very dear to me. Kafka then gives us some motherly advice before abandoning us in the space station and we pass out again. Once we wake up for the second time, we are met by two members of the Astral Express crew trying to kiss us. What is the Astral Express, you ask? They're the most important faction in the game because we joined them. We then team up with March and Dan Hung, taking out the trash on the way there, picking up that one character that's about as interesting as two pieces of bread being slapped together. We eventually make it to the Master Control Zone and are introduced to the best feature in the game. Gambling. Gambling, let's go! I love gambling! Actually, I need to find the events tab because I need to check for one event. It's actually... yeah, 2.5 is about to end. And I need the events tab to see if one event is still there that I need. Alright. It's there, it's still there. Oh my god, it's still there. Let's go. 1000 free jades. I love this game. I love Honkai Star Rail. I love heours. I love everyone who plays it. They're all the same thing. Time to pull. Alright, skip. Not a bad start, at least it wasn't a light cone. I mean, a Danhang Eidolon is not the worst thing in the world. Just be glad it's not a light cone, right? Still no 5-star. Double 4-star. And one is an Eidolon, and the other one... the other one's giving me the ick. The cool pulls, the ones that actually matter. So, I don't know which one to go for. I think both could be good. I'll just flip a coin, I guess. You know what? No, it doesn't matter. Let's just go for Topaz. There's really no difference, yeah. Yeah, and I get a light cone for it. Thank you very much, game. After a massive wet fart of a pulling session of duplicates and those wretched vermin we call light cones, together with our stepmom Himeko, we make it through some more pieces of junk. By that I mean I ran past everything. We are then met by the first boss of this game, the Doomsday Beast. Now, of course, as the first boss of this game, I gave it a good old spanking it was thirsting for so badly. After emerging victorious, we head back to the Master Control Zone and are met by a science lady who takes us to the tutorial for the simulated universe. And I somehow failed the tutorial. Twice, in fact. Honestly, seeing my non-existent skill, this is very possible. So after even more bullshit being thrown at me by heours, I had enough, and after strapping a Huggies 5-in-1 diaper around myself, I joined the Astral Express. I may as well just get these tutorials out of the way right now, because they take like 10 minutes at max. Now, I won't waste your time and will let you know that it did, in fact, not take 10 minutes, but rather it took 14 minutes. I then filled out a survey. Now, I was in need of some stellar jades, the currency you use for summons, and in order to get some quick jades, I looked for some chests, because each one gives me 5. It took me a few minutes and then I headed off to the second planet. After landing on Eurilo 6, we start off by lots of XP book farming, to make sure our babies were all nice and ready for the journey ahead. We then dig out a guy freezing to death. His name is Sampo. Sampo is a complete dickhead and he leads us to the Empire of Man Children. We call them the Silver Main Guards. Shampoo then runs off, and after beating up some of these man-children, they lead us to Belobog and introduce us to their wise leader, who tells us a lot of horse hanky doo-doo before letting us off. We make our way into Serval's workshop, and after fixing her butt plug, it was already very late. So we head over to the hotel where we'll be staying at, but the Empire of Man-children said that peace was not an option. So next morning they arrive at our doorstep in an attempt to arrest us. With my high levels of testosterone, I fight back and run into a forbidden zone. They chase us down and we are forced into a battle with Bronya. She barely deals any damage to my team of Giga Chads, and after getting her HP down to that of a Smurf's dick, Sampo makes a comeback and gasses us before taking us down to that foul place called the Underground. Not long after, we make a reunion with Marge and play hide and seek with a bunch of cave children.
What are they feeding you kids down here?
Rocks and dust. The cave child leads us to the boxing ring where we link up with Dan Heng. Together we teamed up on that robo-dick and noticed how our good friend Shampoo was looking at us really funny, so we find him hiding in a very convenient spot. He tries to talk his way out of the situation he was in, but we force him to introduce us to Wildfire, which is the main faction here in the underground. After meeting up with a member from Wildfire named Sela, I shivered in my undies after she told me that we needed to go to the Great Mine. My absolute honest reaction was to walk around collecting every chest in Boulder Town and filling out a page in my adventurer's handbook. I then leveled up a lot of characters to level 30 to increase the size of my available roster of Sigmas. We make our way through the Great Mine, and after plugging out the computers of some robo-dickheads, we meet up with the leader of Wildfire, whose name is Oleg. We agree to collaborate. Our plan was to go to bed and get a good night's sleep. The plan was interrupted because as the MC we have a nightmare. Coincidentally enough, Bronya was around, so we decided to take a walk together. Bronya's yapping is interrupted by a conversation nearby, so we run over there to find out that it's actually time to run more fucking errands. Wasting no time, we run over there, take out everyone in our way, and oh look, a chest! We get the supplies and run back to turn them in. After that I got carried away and I started drawing dicks in Rappa's trial. Yeah, that kinda speaks for itself. So with our supplies, our next mission involved us paying a visit to Svarog. So after getting through our first gate in his lair, we're met by the second, which requires us to go out of our way to find Clara, who is Svarog's family. With her help, we eventually make it to Svarog, and now it was time for the first proper boss fight in this game. My ultimate plan was to run Aston Serval. The reason for that? They shred through Svarog's toughness bar, so yeah. It was over rather quickly. We then get information on the Stellaron, which tells us that humanity has failed several times before when destroying the Stellaron. And of course, how can we forget? We get our daily dose of lesbian hentai! And with that quest all nice and done, I needed to level up to 20 to go further, so I did what was needed. Not side quests this time though. I farmed so much XP earlier that I was very close, so I just opened some chests, and finally got to level 20, so it was time for the Trial of Equilibrium. The baddies here had no idea about our impending doom, and yet I still barely cleared the shit. So now that I was free from that cock and ball torture that we call the Trial of Equilibrium, I wasted no time getting back up to the surface, and after bribing Serval with a $10 Fortnite gift card, we were on our way to the Stellaron. On our way there, we are cock-blocked by a bridge that isn't working. In order to activate its power, we need a keycard that only a man named Dunn has. He kinda looks like my dick. By beating this guy up, we made everyone in a 2-kilometer radius our enemy. Anyways, after failing a few times to sneak past the guards... Come here. God damn it! We make it to the machine and reactivate power. Then advance further and are interrupted by Japard. By the way, he does like no damage at all, so with my overwhelming masculinity, Japard was out of the way and it was the final stretch. I activated 4 big devices and I was met by this thing. And to say the least, she was a big B-word, quite possibly a top 3 B-word of this run. And by B-word I mean bitch, she was a big fucking bitch. This took me like 3 tries, and each time I was forced to eat so much, I'm honestly convinced that I was morbidly obese from all these calories I was shoving down my throat. And that was too much for her and she died. Our final opponent on this godforsaken planet was this tyrant I call Cocolia. And I have to give credit where it's due. The double sustain I had in my team was doing absolute wonders. Fire MC in combination with Lynx ensured that my team of Chads were safe and sound while bringing democracy to Belobog. Oh no, never mind, Bronya just became the next one. Oh well. Bronya bids farewell to us and hopes that one day we will return. To that I say... I say no! Okay, now I was back in the Express and we were about to leave. Before we can head off to Penacony though, we are interrupted by our mom telling us that we need to go to the Luofu. Ugh, gross. After some tomfoolery from the Xianzhou side, we finally get in, and as we try to get an understanding of where the f even are we, moments later we find ourselves saving Tingyun. This, however, was a very alpha male move, as she will help us navigate this place. I then discovered a funny cavern, and I needed those relics, so I just put on auto battle and then started the new Pokemon they revealed. Holy sh*! Why do they have wheels? Eventually I am done farming my daily dose of dog shit and move forward to get rid of some more baddies and make my way to the central Starskiff Haven. I was here to offer help to the Luofu with the Stellaron crisis, and after being rejected by Yukong, our boy Jingyuan comes in the clutch and gives us a purpose to be here. By that I mean he sends us on an errand to chase after Kafka. This would be difficult, but we will be carried by Deeting, or how I like to call him, the Cake Dog. Because he looks like a cake. After testing the little guy out, we enter Stargazer Navalia, pick up the traces left by Kafka, avoiding every enemy on the way there, of course, and complain about that one godforsaken gate. I was then trying to pull something on this guy off, but because I have the intellect of a McDonald's chicken nugget, he reaches me. Anyways, Kafka's shenanigans catch up to her, and then Jutsu Lady swoops in and arrests Kafka on our behalf. Thank you, by the way, I don't get paid enough to do this shit. She then escorts us to the Exalting Sanctum and tells us what to do before leaving, and now we're on our own. We start off by helping a dragon baby do her job and leave. I am not joking when I say that was the only interaction we have with her, but who cares, you lose 50-50s to her anyway, so you see her plenty. We then meet Jingjue, who, upon our arrival, is playing games, although not long after she gets the dub and takes us to the interrogation place, where we realize that nothing is ready, so we're forced into more fucking errands. But before I do any of that, I head back to the Express to unlock the Forgotten Hall. I cleared floor 1 and 2 as they were a piece of cake, and got too scared to try floor 3, so back to running errands we go. We get 3 terminals and head back, where Fushuan throws out some jutsus and finds out the truth. Of course she doesn't tell us, so we have to ask Kafka ourselves. Before she can tell us anything that actually matters, we're at the Dan Heng's POV where we have to fight off some enemies with trial characters. I also did this earlier, but it's kind of the same song, as these characters did indeed have light cones. Yes, feel free to type in the comments that you hope my finger rips through the toilet paper next time I wipe or something. I don't know, I don't judge. Back to our POV, this tree extends and that means the next boss is about to go down. Yeah, so here he is. Now, you have early access to all Echoes of War on a new account, so this is why I'm fighting Sunday. Don't worry, I didn't do any off-camera grinding, although all it took was 1 burn and I lost. El Bozo. Anyways, with the help of that old baboon, we cut off all the healing abilities for that godforsaken deer and ate some more food. Got my characters quite low on HP a few times, which made me clench my butt cheeks so hard I could have probably crushed a watermelon with them if I had the chance. Lynx was an absolute goat throughout this fight, however, so by relying solely on Herda to break its toughness bar, yes, I get it, I am an ape and I didn't take Asta, thank you very much, and slowly nibbled its HP down. About 15 minutes of ass cheek clenching and spamming Lynx's skill, the deer was now very dear to die. Okay, f this. With the 1.0 quest done, we move on to 1.2. We enter the Alchemy Commission, and a minute in and we are thrown into our first battle. This was supposed to be serve as a tutorial for the new enemies, but if you know me and my relationship with tutorials, I failed this one as well. I got it on the second try though, don't worry. We then went to an outpost of the Cloud Knights where we linked up with Fushuan. She tells us that we need to turn off some cauldrons to progress further. Once that is done, we approach the big cauldron. After a long fight, some retries and tantrums later, we took her down and are slapped in the face with Tingyun's betrayal. We take out the goons that were thrown at us, then we get to Dan Heng's POV where he goes to a little island to meet Blade, and we get a cutscene of some gay hentai before Blade throws his large and stiff blade. Blade throws his sword at Dan Heng, which leads to a hot transformation. With this we beat up some literal children like we always do, and thanks to King Yuan we are taking the Skelgorge Waterscape to link up with our Fortnite squad. Dan Heng then activates the weird Luofu shit and reveals a massive palace underwater. I forgot why we're here, we need to be here alright. So we activate the 3 seals to allow us access to the big boss fight, that being Phantylia. Here Jingyuan was forced into the team with us, and I am once again sorry to all the gamers who are upset by this. Please forgive me, I need to feed my cat. Phantylia was... she truly was. Jingyuan was going crazy. Forgot to eat food as you can tell, and what that mistake made me realize is that double sustain is absolutely broken. Having a shield and a healer in your team is an insane combo, and thanks to this Phantylia really was no problem. Although yes, there were times when my characters were on critical HP, Lynx was there to save the day. I'm telling you, double sustain is key to everything in life. Evading taxes, double sustain the IRS. Going through a divorce, just double sustain the marriage certificate. What is she gonna do about it? Anyways, yeah, Phantylia died, 1.2 quest ended, we attend Tingyan's funeral in the 1.3 quest, bid farewells to everyone and returned to the Express. And now the time has come. It was time for Penacony. I did not do any preparation this time because I have realized that the 2.0 quest is actually really easy. I'll explain later, but after having a dream where we walk through the hotel with Akron, we get a taste of the absolute fuckfest that Penacony is. After entering the hotel in reality, we tried to check in, but for some reason I wasn't registered, which is pretty weird. It's fine though, Aventurine gave us his room. After which, we got a chance to meet up with Robin, my beloved prom queen. After that, Aventurine led me to my hotel room, which is also where I entered the dreamscape. How was it? It started amazing, because when I dive bombed into the ground and got a mild concussion, the first person I saw was Robin. Well, Sunday too, but yeah. After that, it was just your average Penacony stuff. Get run over upon your first steps, you know, the good stuff. Then a salesman that looks like a giant eyeball tries to sell a bubble to me and charges me 100k for it. After telling him to go fuck himself, I meet up with this cutie named Firefly, and this also marked the start of my love life. She first took me to a restaurant, and by now with the amount of food I had eaten, I was probably the size of a League of Legends player, so I just took some ice cream. After observing the giant piss fountain as I eat my ice cream, Firefly took me to some slot machines, and here is some advice. Please never play the slot machine. I swear, I have played on it like 30 times by now and never gotten the jackpot. At this point I'm convinced that it's all rigged of all things. So with a disappointed look on my face, I was about to leave. Until I met Sampo. He insists on taking us to a shady place and without knowing any better, we follow him. After his plan fails, we find something else to do. That being turning me into a gremlin version of Jay Schlatt and sending me straight into danger. I got to do some fuck shit though, so it was fine. With that part all done and dusted, I got a shitty relic and was sent into the clinic to fight some trash bins. And oh man, where do we begin? The problem with this trash bin is that it deals more and more damage with each of its turns. So if it does 500 damage on its first hit, its next hit will deal a lot more. Problem, my character's HP does not equal a lot more. So they died. And if the trash bin wasn't enough, it also has these bugs that sincerely deal a lot of damage, and I sincerely hope that they find the nearest rope. Man, I wish I could use light cones. I could have done this on my first try, but guess what? These dick hits can also reproduce. So that combined with the disgusting amount of damage these trash bins do, and what do you know, your Sigma gamer was a Sigma goner. Things were looking bad, so bad in fact, that I went and started buying random shit from the Luofu World Shop. Oh, and then I started doing the simulated universe at long last. I cleared World 1, failed World 2 in typical Genexus style, and gave up on my dreams before turning into a full-time alcoholic, because alcohol and Robin at this point are the only things in life that bring me joy. Whew, okay, for real though, I did some Echoes of War, went on to clear a Trial of Equilibrium 2 now, which was actually a lot better because I actually had some sort of a plan for this fight, and since I had unlocked Ascension materials now, I spent a whole bunch of time farming those so I could have my main roster of characters at level 50. So with my characters comfortably sitting at a nice level with some better relics, I went ahead and challenged the simulated universe once again. This time making a joke out of World 2 and challenge World 3, where I died to a literal fucking occurrence. I decided to go back to Penacony to fight that godforsaken trash bin again. I failed again, by the way, so what did I do? I farmed even more relics, baby! I farmed a lot of relics, by the way. I spent a lot of fuel and farmed 2 different locations multiple times. After getting a load of dog shit spat at my face, I had enough and went back to the trash bin for the 3rd take. I failed once again, so this time I started farming resources for Japard because I thought that double sustain would be the key. And guess what? Double sustain came in clutch once again and I was actually able to clear it. And from now on, this singular trash bin is now my least favorite part of this game. So with the trash bin getting beaten up by my overwhelmingly massive amounts of testosterone, my date with Firefly continued. As we headed over to her secret stronghold, we have a little ad break when Mickey Mouse appears out of thin air and tells us how people are in danger. What it really is, though, is a bunch of goons surrounding Akron. We help her out, and after she wishes us a good date, we continue moving forward, reaching the dream's edge, where we go from rooftop to rooftop in mere seconds. On our way there, we were met by this and this, to say the least, was the Trash Bin 2.0. Remember when I said that this quest was gonna be easy? Well, god damn, I was wrong. I failed over and over again. Not even double sustain could do the trick. Which was the moment when I realized, man, I really need Rappa. And so I went on an epic gamer adventure clearing floors 3, 4 and 5, getting the J's from them before going back to World 3 of the simulated universe. It was still a very rough ride, but my goal was not to clear it, it was to collect curios and blessings. What are curios, you ask? They're these little funny items you collect in the simulated universe. Whenever you collect a new one, you get 30 free jades. See what I'm getting at here? They're amazing, and after doing a lot of this rinse and repeating and collecting new curios, I had finally reached 80 pity and it was time for my 5-star. There it is. Alright, let's see. Rappa, Rappa, Rappa. Come on. What did I tell you? After winning my 50-50, I immediately leveled her up to the max I could and gave her relics. No light cone, of course. And with her, although barely, I was able to take out this stupid dinosaur and continue on with my date. We have a nice chat before my ass gets sleepy and I want to go back. Once we do so, I want to reunite with my friends. Of course my plan fails and I run into Sparkle, who puts my sleepy ass to sleep. So now we're deep in the dreamscape and God knows where. After climbing several walls, we make it into a weird room with TVs everywhere, and let me tell you, playing this shit at 2 AM really was not a good idea, but oh well, we're 15 hours deep into the run, not going back now, so we're thrown into our next boss, which I do take time to clear, but thank god Rappa was there. She really helped because she wears down that toughness bar like an absolute champion. Once we enter phase 2, the rest of this quest turns into a breeze, because this is where Black Swan joins us, and in case you didn't know, she hits like an absolute truck here. And she does so all the time. Like, this thing died so quickly and it was all because of Black Swan. After that battle, I felt a very strong urge to kiss her on the cheek for her good deeds. But time waits for no one and we pushed forward. Since me and Firefly were separated together with Swan, we teamed up to find her. On our way there we meet Sesbi and Lex. Now together as a trio, seemingly collecting new teammates like Pokemon, we get to the hotel lobby, then seeing Firefly again, before she gets thrown into the air and stabbed. This was a lot more dramatic in this game, but this is simply my 5th playthrough, bro. You expect me to stream like a streamer? So we head back to the bar where we see charred enemies lying all over the floor, so clearly something is wrong here. With the help of Black Swan using some kind of cheat codes to break through walls and whatnot, we soon come back to the hotel lobby to be met by Sam, or how I like to call him, stupid, annoying mecha. I'm sorry. Either way, if you have watched my previous videos or played through this fight before, you know how easy he is, and it's all thanks to Black Swan eating away at his HP every turn he gets. All you need to do is just survive, that's literally it. So I did just that, and when he was defeated, Swan took me to Aventurine so he can take me to my hotel room again, but this time there's a dead Robin lying in my bathtub. I had no idea I'd be getting roommates alongside this room. Okay, for real though. Turns out that Robin is in fact dead. In a dream. So yeah, that's really all that's going on here. This is just some light cone shenanigans being done inside the dream. Yeah, thank god I'm not using those bastards. Anyways, that's the end of the 2.0 quest. So to start off the 2.1 quest, we found out how Sesbi and Lex even got here. Essentially, she stole an invitation from another faction by killing its leader. The faction in question is the Annihilation Gang, and they did in fact get an invitation to Penacony, which is really not surprising considering that the family is really shady as a whole. But not you, Robin, I trust you with my life. After about 30 minutes of spacebar fingering, we got through Aventurine's POV and then we got through Sunday's mansion to find the man himself waiting for us. He tries to pull some shenanigans on Aventurine with the 2 gemstones, but in typical Hoyoverse fashion, they wouldn't put a playable character in danger, so they were fake. Who could have guessed? After that, we got through multiple POVs. For a few minutes, we're watching dialogue as the MC. The next thing we know, we are watching Walt and Acheron yap about their past for like 20 minutes. Thanks for letting me know. We then go to Aventurine's POV and walk around while being drugged, handing out some gifts to random people, before Sparkle appears out of nowhere, so Aventurine lets go of his brain rot and basically tells her to fuck off. After finding out that Gallagher is actually 13, we got through multiple POVs once again. We started to get tons and tons of Aventurine lore, but before that, I had built up a lot of pity on the standard banner, so it was time for my 5-star. I might be a total moron. Okay, it was a 5-star anyways. Dude, so really now I was at 80 pity. Yeah, they were playing hard to get though. You're right. What? Let's see. What? No! No! Oh my god. Oh, I could have been at least Bailu. Oh my god. No. You cannot get rid of a character. But what you can do is you can get rid of a light cone. It has to go. It has to go. It cannot stay here. It's not welcome here. After doing what was needed, it was time for an hour worth of Aventurine lore, or I think it's an hour. I was fingering my facebar for all I know. So after that massive lore jump, I got to the MC's POV and headed over to the Piss Fountain to get ready to take on Aventurine. Now for the first time I actually planned for something. The plan here was to rely on weakness breaks and double sustain. Japard and Lynx are a wonderful combo as a shielder combined with the healer, and although we had a pretty slow fight, my characters were always at high HP and Aventurine's health slowly dwindled down. There was no timer, so this really was no problem. So after that, Aventurine takes him out, and they have one last talk before we cut to a dialogue option before Gallagher and Sunday. It's revealed that Gallagher had something to do with Robin and Firefly's death, but I have forgotten by now. But that is the end of the 2.1 quest. That was quick, wasn't it? It was. Okay, let's get to 2.2. Oh wait, this throws you straight into it. So we got the boot health POV and he introduces himself in a very friendly manner to Dan Heng. After that, Acheron decides to leave Penacony because this bird wouldn't shut up. Anyways, it cuts to Robin's POV, but this is another case where we are very stupid because it was not in fact Robin. Anyways, we head off to the Dream Flux Reef with Walt and Firefly before reuniting with March, then Himiko, and then Robin. Bro, we really are collecting them like Pokemon. We advance further and also reunite with Gallagher and then Sunday. Okay, yeah, you get the idea. Then there is a lot of spacebar fingering, and by that I mean a lot. There's like an hour of this shit. My attention span faded and I started talking to chat, but hey, my eyes were very pleased by Robin. We then are taken to some tournament thingy where you have to go through 3 trials. In the first 2 you can either choose if you want to be a caveman or Einstein, as it's either combat or some puzzle. Of course I chose the puzzle because my characters were dealing about as much damage as a used condom. But regardless, on the 3rd trial I met Argenti. And instead of fighting him, Alex, being an absolute legend, told me what to do to avoid fighting him. Alex, if you are watching this, you saved me 2 hours of playtime, 4 temper tantrums, and 3 broken monitors combined with a fucking aneurysm. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, you absolute legend, because I was not fighting this redhead again. Thank you very much. So then we are forced through Sunday's usual yap fest, after which we have to help Misha get his memories back because he has the memories of a fucking goldfish. After finding out that he's basically a kid version of the Watchmaker, we gain the power of harmony ourselves and we're ready to give Sunday a spanking he was needing so badly. He wants to tell us some kind of story, but unfortunately for him, I just put this shit on auto. But once this was done, it was time for the big dog himself, and I was doing so well. But would you look at that? This dickhead is on 1% and he decides to start spamming the skill button and take me out. I gave it one more shot, same thing but 5% this time. I think you know what I did. Double sustain, baby! I did it. Very easily, by the way. I swear, bro, if you are ever struggling in life, just double sustain it. It's that easy. Anyways, that was round 1 against Sunday, so after Dan Heng finished this alongside Jing Yuan, we headed back to the Express and head off to our next destination, but turns out we need to go back to round 2 for Sunday. So we headed back to the hotel and devised a plan. Simply put, we're gonna rail Sunday. Take it as you may, but now you'll see the best moments of me railing Sunday. Again, take it as you may. Just doing a little mic test. I have my stream on my phone. I love railing Sunday. I completely agree with you. My ears are plugged. I went ahead to blow my nose and I blew it so hard my ears are now plugged. Alright, let's go. Alright, time to rail Sunday again. Time to rail Sunday for the 3rd time, and if I get Rappa, I was only at 25 pity. Not a big loss, exactly. I need to rail Sunday again. I really need to rail Sunday again right now. I'm really in the mood to rail Sunday right now. Oh, okay. Oh, you're at 45 pity. That's good. I don't know, I do like her design. She is really nice. And she's also amazing in pure fiction from what I've heard. Yo, is Japard actually gonna end him? The hell? What? Oh, he's on 1%. Okay. Is Link's gonna... Oh, Link's actually gonna finish him. That's so lame. It could have been a Rappa. Or MC. Wait, is she actually gonna finish him? She did. Okay. Link's might have just actually wrapped up the run. Well, GG. And there you go. That is Sunday defeated. Although this is not the end of the run, as there is still the 2.3 quest, so I did not waste any time and headed off to the ship it happens on. It's called the Radiant Feldspar, by the way, so me and March headed up there and listened to Robin's speech before Sparkle sends us a DM, telling us that she has put a bomb on the ship. So in the matter of minutes we remove all of them and the Charming Festival can continue in peace. After which, we spent about 30 minutes bidding farewell to everyone at Penacony, and I also took the time to properly say goodbye to Akron since my viewers agreed to it. So with everything done and dusted, we head back to the Astral Express and depart Penacony for good to head towards our next destination, Amphorius. Too bad it's coming out 2 patches later. Anyways, with that, we have our answer. You can indeed beat Honkai Star Rail without light cones. Moral of this video? Please cherish your light cones. You don't realize what you have until you lose it. And I would even go as far as to say that this was probably the hardest run so far, but look, we pushed through. By the way, all of this was live streamed, so if you want to, feel free to take a look at some of the moments in the live stream tab. Anyways, I will not be keeping you all here for any longer, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!